Hello and welcome back to RailRoads Online. So today we are here going to be buying some new rolling stock and moving some of the iron ore down the hill, trying to make some progress towards the money and XP. Making some new runs, seeing how much we can get away with on the steep grades. We do definitely have some steep grades, so it's time to find out if we just have to regrade everything or if we're just going to be able to power through it with bigger locos. We'll just have to see how it all works out. One never knows until you try it. That's always been my take on it. So we are just going to turn around and move these over, and then we're going to grab up some new rolling stock. Swing those over. Alright, good brakes on this loco, so no problems there. Not the most spectacular whistle on this train. Not a horrible whistle. Nothing spectacular, at least in my opinion. See how well it takes the tight turn. This one is obviously the tightest of the tracks, but if we can just stick them in here, then we know we won't have any problems. It's kind of the thought process there. Alright, we will disconnect here. Wow, a little bit out of control there. And set the brake. It's going to be enough to hold it. Good enough. I think we will turn around and run this forward. Yeah, let's go ahead and get this clear this way. Alright, cool. That. And then we don't need anything running into that, so we will flip those that way. We don't have any collision should something happen. Alright. Get out of the loco. We do have to buy a couple of cars here, so let's jump in and do that. We are still only tier 3, so the option really is whether... There we go again. You always lose the... the cursor. So we have the options. Either the sugarcane cars we could turn around and go with, which are slightly cheaper, I think. Yeah, slightly cheaper and weigh a little less. Or we turn around and go with the side dump gondola cars, as we can't get to the hoppers yet. So I think just because these look better, I feel. So we'll go with those. Go in and customize them. We're just going to start them with number 1. Name, I don't think anything goes on these. Definitely does not. So we're not going to worry about that. Paint, we're just going to go with 1. I think we can afford 3, so let's just buy 3 right off the bat. Alright, we got 2, 3, there it is. There they are. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, cool. Let's fly. Re-rail. We're just going to put them all here. Oops. Should I actually... Oop. Let's not smash the thing yet. Throw that back there. We'll just throw that one there. Nice thing. Some people like it, some people don't like it, but you can turn around and, you know, drop the cars down wherever you are, so you don't have to go all the way back to the spawn point, which is cool. They did get rid of the spawn house, which kind of, I don't know, I know where some people get with Or like the spawn track, it wasn't like a spawn house, it was the spawn track, I guess. But I don't know. I don't think it makes a difference. I think it's handy having them be able to drop wherever you want. If you want to drop them down on the starting tracks, you can go do that. Nothing stops you from doing that. So it's kind of my take on it. And you can build, you know, a workhouse or whatever, however you want it to be. A workshop, whatever you want to call it. Just shield back into these. Perfect. That went fairly okay. No, nothing major. Obviously, the 3 should not be. I don't think that's even the weight of one normal hopper car. It's going to haul more, but I don't think it weighs as much. So this should be nice and easy. Every 2 of these are going to haul what our normal hopper, you know, we get, what, 10 in those? I think it's 10. Pretty sure. Oops. Ooh, who saved them? Well, the car saved them, actually. It wasn't us. Oops. That one we wasted. We're gonna drop some coal, or iron, just the process of it. So not gonna worry about it too much. And the debate is we could cut this off and just put a turntable in right there. If we want to turn it around, I think on this one we're just gonna run it backwards and around. We'll just see what happens as we go. Alright. Moving things along just fine. Shouldn't have too many problems in that turn. And then we're gonna go like crazy down the hill anyway, so we don't need to probably boost it along too much. Trick with this road is going to be about not just running out of steam, really. As you start running downhill and you don't need the power, you end up like just kind of getting lazy about actually keeping the fire stoked up. At least I find. And then on your return trip, you are absolutely out of steam. Train should just fly along here decent. Hopefully we can get it back up out of the steep grade. That's going to be the thing. As we do that, we will add cars so that the run becomes worth more and more will be the idea. Don't mind running these small cars. The small cars look cool, especially if we get, you know, a fair amount of them. It just depends on how many we can haul. And where this run probably is never going to haul a ton of cars, because although we're pulling them out empty, I don't know. Just depends. Who knows? I know we've done that, the hill down to the smelter pretty steep before, and gotten a fair amount of locomotives and stock stuck down there, so I'm not ruling anything out or making any promises. Everything running nice and smooth. So you don't really have to slow down past 20 for anything on here yet, so other than like, you know, adding industry stuff maybe. So everything runs pretty smooth. This will give us a chance to get turned around. Cool, we go that way. And then down at the bottom of the hill, I have no idea what we're looking at. Alright, let's go around that way. We'll do all that. Train gets going here pretty good. No problem hitting a 40-mile-an-hour speed. Now the thing is, can we get slowed down decent? Yes, absolutely we can. No problems there. Cool. Just one more overbend to make right there, and not a problem. Okay, cool. First load. Now if we can get out of here is going to be the trick. This is probably the tightest turn of everything we're dealing with. Which the loco not having any hard time with. That tree is way too close and should be gone. Bit of a cabin slapper there. Not much, but a bit. Alright, slow this down just a bit. Get this back here. Alright, let's just stop it so we don't waste anything on this one. Oop, wrong direction. Get that one. And that one. That tree is right in the way. Cool. Gonna get us totally off. I mean, we had spent all but $100, so right there the train pretty much paid for itself, so that's cool. Now if we can get the thing out of here, we can start making some progress. Obviously that's gonna start sucking up cordwood. As soon as we get through that, we are not gonna dawdle. Alright, let's hit it. How low do we go up to 6% grade? That's the question. Looks like we're cruising right up it without a problem. Although as soon as we start choking down, there you go. Problem. So we can add more. How much more? That'll be a good question. I think we'll probably add 1 or 2 more cars for the next run. I don't think we'll quite double it. That seems risky. Though it's working. That's now we could turn around and run this all the way down to the sawmill and turn it around, but I think for the sake of time on this one anyway, obviously. There we go. We are gonna just get this moving. And then as we do that, yeah, working good. That actually worked surprisingly well. Class 47 doing the job. Probably don't need to go crazy here. Just apply a little bit of brake and settle that down. Yeah, gonna run up the hill, no problem. Nice and fast, so that'll be good. Run should make money, XP. Now the sad part is we'll be to tier 4 and be able to buy the much bigger cars almost instantly. But then I don't think we're gonna, because I just don't think it's honestly gonna handle the weight. So until we get a bigger loco, I don't think it's gonna make any sense to add a heck of a lot more. If we had 5 more, at least we're running 30 over at a time. So we will try to do at least 2 more, and I'm not opposed to add more, but we're gonna have to see how it goes. So we'll buy 2 more, that'll cut us down to 400, but then we should be rolling a decent amount and doing some XP to go with it, which should really open up the railroad. And to be honest, we haven't had to even lay a ton of track to do this, so we didn't even go down the dev path just using this one, you know? Trains run forward and backwards. And it's working, so there is that. Gonna get it done. Should get us moving along. Shed a little bit of speed there, just so we don't go crazy. Alright, we got too much stuff going on. We go forward. Oh, sure. There we go. Nice and easy. And then just like that, we are rolling right back out. Oh no. Wait, now if we're gonna add cars, we're gonna add cars. Totally forgot, just like that, we should be rolling back out. We'd be making $1,000. Well, not quite. I don't know how much we actually got paid, though. It had to have been pretty close to that. But let's try to actually buy a couple more cars. Just like that, you start getting into, like, ripping along, moving the cars, you know? Want to just go. Make it quick. Alright, let's grab those. We are going to customize them. We need number, I think we're on 4, keeping it easy. Keeping the paint the same. We will buy 2 more. We could buy 3 more. I think we're just going to buy 2 more because I don't honestly know if we're going to have the loco to move it. So let's just progress in a more chilled out manner in case we can save the $300, you know? No getting it back once you spend it, that's the thing. So we'll just keep it right in the old bank. Would we step it up to 6 if we can pull it? Probably. I mean, why not, right? Maybe this just ends up being our little iron ore train or something. Alright, there we go. Get that down. Hey, get that off. Hit that. Let's turn around and back up into the new cars. There we go. Take that forward. Oh, we probably should fill the cars. That wouldn't hurt either. But Jesus, man. Alright, at least everything's hooked up. We'll just call that a safety check. Still not a lot of weight in these cars. I mean, that is the one nice thing with these little hoppers, is that they do not weigh a ton. I mean, they're under like 3,000 pounds a piece or something, so just not a lot of weight. Not when you compare them to the full-size hoppers, anyway. Alright, that worked. Alright, and that worked. Now let's try this. There we go. Not a bad looking little train. Yeah, it's not horrible. I mean, it's obviously not a gigantic train, but hey, here's the thing. Not all narrow gauge trains were gigantic. Just the truth. Sometimes it's fun to run the little ones through the mountains, though, I find, too, so. And that looks pretty cool. And we may still end up adding a couple more, who knows? That's the thing, you know? Sometimes the local will surprise you and do things you never thought it was going to do. I think almost everybody that's played the game long enough has a story of the one time or not the one time, but the train on the run that does a lot, way more than you thought it was gonna. I know the Class 70 will surprise a person with exactly, at least back in the day, how much it used to pull, you know. The Class 70 could do an awful lot. Nowadays, sadly, I don't think the Class 70 gets used a heck of a lot by a lot of people because there are so many other options out there, but the Class 70 was definitely a workhorse of the railroad back in the day. For sure. A couple of those and you could pull a ton. I know I've heard people not super happy with how much the new 2662, the Mallet, how much that one pulls is maybe not as much as a person was hoping it was, or not. I don't know. I honestly haven't used one a ton. It's a lot of loads that I tend to, you know, that's cranking up there. I've had one and I've used them, just not, you know, a lot on the railroad, so for practical use. So I could not comment too much. I know the Class 125 is a great loco. Pulls a ton. It's a great loco. All around. A lot of good logos in the game nowadays, to be honest. And then not everybody always likes to run huge loads either, so, you know, not everybody's looking to run 70 cars at a pop. Personally, I like the trains that are around a 12-car train, 10, 12 cars, something like that, I'm happy with. Oh, no, no, no. Then I would rather hit the limit of the loco than turn around and just have unlimited power to run whatever. That's just me, I guess. I like the running the locos out of what they have, you know? If that makes sense. Stretching them out. max in a loco, and for the most part, I don't know that narrow gauge trains were usually super, super long. I mean, a narrow gauge train could be whatever I suppose somebody wanted it to be, so you can't say they were never long, and you can't say they were always short or always long or always anything. They were whatever they could or needed to be, I suppose. All different types. Alright, we are going to try to bring this in nice and chill here. Hey, get off. Alright, there. We're on the car we want to be on. Or really, again, with this run, it's always going to be about getting it out, you know? Have you put too much on it, or the empty cars? I don't think so when they're empty. I think we're okay. I don't know that they would pull out of here full. Cool. Alright. I should have brought up the money there. Let's see how much. Yeah, well, okay, cool. Back to 19. We're going to make money, and we're going to make XP. Again, I didn't even look at the XP. I'm always worried about the money aspect of it. More so than the XP, but, you know, this is the first time I've ever really run into XP issues at any point. Alright, let's see. Can we just slam it right through all this? Let's just try. Up to speed. Really doesn't sound like it's slowing down too much. It definitely is slowing down. Ooh, are we gonna make it? Oh, we're not even at full blast. Oh, if we don't even make it, it's not even the train's fault. We won't even know. Yeah, it's starting to speed back up. We're gonna make it. It's gonna do it. That means we can add more cars. We can add at least one more car. Because it's gonna do it. Yeah, for sure. We might even get away with two more. This might not be a horrible thing. I mean, it's definitely going to start paying the bills, that's for sure. I mean, every single load we're able to buy something. And we have quite a bit of the stuff that needs to move over, so this is working. Yeah, this is much better than starting to do depot drops. And we're filling up the smelter stuff, so this is like win-win-win. Yeah, it's running forward and backwards. Not for everybody, I know. This probably a ton of coal in the face of the engineer there. But the loco's doing it easy enough, that's the thing. Like I said, we're going to add. If we can get away with it, we're going to add. We can definitely get away with it. We came up the hill 70%. We weren't even maxed out. And when we did max out, we were definitely accelerating. So, we're good. This is great. I have to say, Class 47 starting to impress. It's doing everything and it's doing it fast. Which, that's always a bonus, you know? Time is a thing. So, we're just trying to move along here. See this, we could have moved over further, had it actually on the hill and then brought it over. Should only have to be bridged from there to there. Then this could be wall coming along here. Then back to bridge for a bit. We could come in and change up some of this groundwork. Or whatever you want to call it. Groundwork, bridge work, all that stuff. We could definitely change it up. Make it look a little more complicated if we felt like. Otherwise, it just looks like it was done in there easy this way, which it was. Kind of finding the path and going to it. This one, nothing's over 3% on this run, as you do it a lot, but we could move along with more variation too, instead of just sticking at 3 all the time. Probably a little more realistic, although I don't, you know, the railroads work on pretty good consistent grades, so again, it just depends on the train and the company, whoever put down the track, I guess. You see a lot of variation out there in narrow gauge stuff. That's for sure. I never feel like there's a right or wrong way to do it. It's kind of more like whatever the guy signing the check, I suppose, or the engineer that needed to get it done did. Is what it appears to be, anyway. I think I missed one. Oh no. Now we're just making messes. Okay. No. Stop. Okay. What? Alright. That one's full. Oh, we're just gonna have to bring them by one at a time and actually see what's full and what's not. That one is full. Those two are full. That one's not full. Alright, so we only missed 2. Not as bad as it first appeared. Yeah, if you're gonna speed load everything, well, oh, be prepared. Oh, it took it. Check that out. The game not wasting as much of your stuff as you think. At least in my case, here currently today. Hey, stop. No, that's trash. Oh, it's gonna just keep wasting it. Stop wasting my iron ore, jerk. Alright, at least the train is not going too crazy. It's over here trying to chuff along though. Alright, let's move it. Alright, whoa, ah! You ever notice how it's like whenever you choose to do things, probably at the worst time when you have 50 things going actually on, where like you have whole run times to do things? That's not when you tend to do it. So we did just cross over tier 4, just like that. So this actually is paying pretty decent XP wise compared to, I mean, moving the wood was like not getting us going very far. I guess we could try to add one more car here before we just go flying off. How many do we have? We have 5, so we're moving 30. We actually are moving around number. I wonder if we should just keep it that way. Let's just go see what the actual numbers and the payoff are. The train can definitely do it. Oh, I guess we should. I mean, if we can run 36, let's run 36, right? Well, that might be able to run another one. That'd be 42. That actually probably started paying decent. Either way, we have plenty of loads we gotta run. Alright, let's get that off of there for now. Slow the train down, you wild crazy. It's loaded. This is not the time to go insane. This would be a good run to turn around and run with against your friends. Time it and see who makes the run faster. This is one of those, like, really the only thing slowing you down is how gutsy you want to get on the turns. It's like the old Casey Jones run here. in the town we're coming, just in case all else fails. Yeah, not doing too bad, actually. You can let it run pretty good. I mean, 25, 30 miles an hour. Remember the old days, we were happy to get 15 or 20. It was like, yeah, if you were cruising at 20, that was pretty good. So going 10 over, that seems pretty wild, but getting it done for the most part anyway. Alright, let's chop that. And there, flip that, gonna get us back down the hill one more time. Should have added another car though. Keep wanting to just crank out the runs. At this point, though, we could argue that, you know, now the debate happens is, do you start buying the other bigger cars? You know, you move 2 of those, it's 20. I guess I don't know. We'd already have to buy 3 of those. They're kind of expensive. It might just be the way to go. Stick with what we're running. It's easy and it's working. We'll take a look on this drop this time and see what we're actually getting money-wise and XP. Oh, there we go. The lightning's cracking in the distance. Nice thing is these cars are moving through all the switches, everything else nice and easy. It's easy to throw around, I guess. Can we get it all at the dock? We can get it all at the dock. Alright, so that's another thing that makes this one easy. Ooh. There we go. We're at 19. Yes, I'm paying like $1,500. That's not horrible. Actually, 1,500. This is not a horrible little train to run for the amount that it costs. This is going to actually pay for the locomotive. It's already paid for the rolling stock. Definitely could have added another car. We had 2 more cars. I can get it up to almost 20,000. These cars, I didn't really realize these cars would pay as well as they are, so. Yeah, it's gonna, I was gonna say, it's gonna fly right up this, and then it starts to go down. Every time I ever say that, like, it's flying right up it. That seems the moment at which you always lose it. Though I do think we can get away with adding at least 1 more car. I don't know how many more over that we're going to get away with. We definitely have enough in the tank, though, for at least 1 more. I mean, you can bring this down quite a bit. And it's still running up the hill, no problem. The nice thing is they're empty on the hard pull, obviously, and full on the easy. So there we go. And I guess we will try to run 1 more and add 1 more car, if I can remember to actually get the car this time. This will significantly improve the railroad's ability to finance upgrades. That's what this is for sure. But then the iron ore has always been the early game money, you know? Really, again, without a ton of rare track, having to lay railroad track, what I'm trying to get at, you can get up there. We could almost take this whole thing out, run out of the smelter up the dev path, split it. Problem is if we run up that, then we have to haul the tier 2 stuff up much steeper grades. What gets away with this is at least we can run the tier 2 up a 3% grade, so I don't think we'll be doing that. We do have to figure out how we're going to get over to the coal mine becomes next. I mean, obviously we have plenty of fuel, so we're not in a hurry to get there. We're going to be running trains in this section for a hot minute to make some money. We'll probably be doing some other expansion stuff and building. I'm just probably trying to blaze through. I'm not. I don't know. No, I don't know. We're just gonna play it out, you know. Pushing along everything, not running to the depot. That's going to be our big #1 goal, which should help us and speed along wherever we want. You know, I've had a couple of the guys want to come in and build and stuff, which you just got to work out the time. And if that happens, then who knows? We could end up with gigantic cities in here or something. Just depends on. Time frames are not always easy to work out. Alright. Oh, we're going to derail. We're going to pop off the rail. That was too fast. Okay, so let's turn around and jump in here. We'll grab the car first. So we don't forget. There we go. Last time we got 4 and 5. So this will be number 6. All good. All good. Fly. Re-rail. Jump. Boom. Whoa. Hit the space bar. Didn't need to hit the space bar. We really don't need to fly anywhere anyway. It's train, not that long. Alright. Bag her up. Go, picked up the car smooth enough. Still have plenty of stock of lumber. Alright, move these. Wow. Well, that went a lot smoother than last time did. So, that was a winner. Maybe 6 cars is what we needed. Alright, and then this should start paying. Obviously, even a little better than the last one. And now it looks like we at least have a little bit of a train going on back there. So, come a long way from where it started. Not sure if this is the out now limit for the Class 47 or if we can keep going. I guess, you know, that's always to be determined. Still 36 ore. I guess it's not a ton. But it's paying pretty well, so we're gonna make the progress that we need. And in the mountains, sometimes you gotta be happy to pull the little trains. You can always go much bigger later when we have bigger locos to pull the stuff. I guess that makes sense. Oh, there we are, actually running out of coal, so we are going to have to stoke up the box here on this runner. This is exactly what I'm talking about, or was talking about earlier, where, you know, you're running downhill and not using the power enough to where then about the time we try to come back up the hill this time, we'd be out of juice. Slow down a little bit there. Grab a little break as we go across here. And we will try to throw some more coal in there. Close the box. Thank you much, sir. Well, it's working. Cool. Come on. Nice thing is the brakes don't have any kind of lockup sticky issue or anything like that, so making transitions nice and smooth. And handling the speed well. 10 wheels coming in handy. Absolute speed run compared to the old days. I remember when you were going, you know, anything over 20 was like in the absolute danger zone of derailment. And that was if you were on perfectly flat rail moving nice like. Certainly much easier to shove things around nowadays. Oh. I think that tree is going to have to disappear. A few of those trees I think are going to disappear. Just for the ease of the thing. Right. Yeah, see, almost at 5K. Finally starting to pay off. Not watching that when we actually deliver. But if you consider we just went up to tier 4 and we're already almost halfway up to tier 5. So definitely iron ore is going to move your XP along quite a bit. Get rid of that. And hopefully we go flying right up the hill. Just gonna leave everything wide open on this one, not even gonna mess with it. Make sure we get there. We are losing some speed, so I think that's about where we're gonna call it. We probably could handle one more, huh? Yeah, it's only on that edge of that turn, otherwise totally doing just fine hauling the 6 cars. So starting out with 3, doubling it up and getting it done, obviously making a lot of, a decent amount of money, already up to $5,000 there, even buying all the rolling stock. I mean, we went through buying all the rolling stock. We're down to basically 0 and have made plenty of money. So yeah, I would definitely recommend, I guess, going to the small hoppers if you can get there early, even if you do just a few loads like this. Now we can buy plenty of the tier 4 hoppers, and very shortly after then I would assume you could buy whatever loco you were in the range for. So I'm sure now we can add actually more power, bigger loco, which it would help for the tier 2 cars for sure. Would be able to start moving a lot more along there. Probably be the goal, I think. Make filling the iron mine a lot easier. And it will help when it comes to filling the coal mine, which will be coming up too. Because that one, obviously, long run out there for the beams. Yeah, how did we end up? How did we end up this way? Yeah, but I suppose we could have always turned around at the bottom of the hill and run up, but then we're running up and back. It doesn't really matter. I don't know. Depends on how do you feel about running trains forward and backwards. Guess I don't really mind. They're on the rail. I think they do it. That's what trains do. So I think we'll keep it this way for now, especially as we're making some money. That'll give us a chance to upgrade, fill stuff in. This is probably as good a spot to do that as any. We have plenty of money already to upgrade the tier 2 stock. Definitely need to upgrade some locomotives, but as we went right by, tier 4, tier 5. Is that where we're at now? No, we're still at 4. Okay, so we're halfway through 4, almost to 5. We'll definitely blaze through to 5 if we keep at this for any length of time, that's for sure. Yeah, that's moving us along surprisingly well, but then today is probably not the day to turn around and sit for run trades all day. So I think with that one, we know that we're going to be making good progress coming up here. We have the rolling stock now to do it. Have a loco that is doing surprisingly well, in my opinion anyways. Just shocked now that running 6. Yeah, I'd have gone for 6 right off the bat, but I didn't think there was any way. I thought we were going to ceiling out at 5, to be really. So happy with the extra car there. Pleasantly pleased, and definitely going to be moving this along. So I think we're going to call it a win. Say thanks for tuning in. Remember, if you get a chance, like, share, subscribe. Subscriptions are free, but they sure do help the channel. Y'all have a great day.